One of the things that worries me the most about riding motorcycles, it ain't the cars driving all around me, pulling in front of me, or my driving ability. My biggest worry is the rampant bike theft that's going on in this country. Well, probably around the world too. But best thing we can do is learn from our mistakes and teach the other bike riders what works and what don't work. And cable locks don't work, even though you can have them on there. See, I got mine right here, if you can see it. It's got a lock on it, but it doesn't take but a second to use bolt cutters on it and cut it off real quick on this little lock that's down here. You can buy these things with the lock part of the mechanism itself, part of the cable. And see, I bought this little lock here, and you come here and you put it down here on your rotor. They say you put it on the inside, but I don't believe I'll be able to get to it on that one, so it has to go on the outside. It's an older bike. The newer ones, you can put on the holes and still be able to get to it from the other side. So now my front end's locked there. And this right here, where you lock your front end, let's see, mine goes the other way. This is an older bike, so it goes that way. And you lock the front end of it right here. Got the right key in it. There we go. So now the front end is locked, but that don't work either, because what they do is they get on the seat, then they put their foot up on the handlebar, then they push till it breaks that little nub that keeps it locked, and it ain't that hard. Once they snap that, you just get right up in here, and they punch this little lock piece. I don't know exactly how they do that. I haven't learned that yet. And then they turn the key on. They just drive off with the bike. But with the rotor lock, they're gonna have to carry some kind of extra tool to beat that thing off or cut it off. Let's see, what other things do they do? The newer ones have the rotor lock for the back. I mean, you put them on the back too. This one has drums, so it don't do that. They need to come out with an idea where they can hook something to the rims of these things and keep them from being able to roll. That'd be a good idea. Unless they do, and I don't know about them. So, having my bike stolen. Oh yeah, and then another thing is when somebody's trying to steal a bike, the best thing that they do is they look for a bike that's hidden in an area where nobody's watching them. That's a good idea for a thief, because every time I watch those videos on YouTube, the thief is always looking around, and he's like waiting, and the longer you can keep them hesitating, the more likely your bike won't be stolen, even though they'll be trying to take it. When they got people walking around the bike, they tend not to try that bike. But you put your bike in a secluded area, that's the bike they're going to go for, more than one that's sitting out in the open where everybody can see it. So don't put your bike in between a bunch of cars and stuff like that, because that's where they want to be, so they can cut this stuff off and go off with your bikes. And a lot of times they ain't even stealing the bike for the whole bike. They're stealing it because they're going to take parts off of it and use it on other bikes or sell it. Well, that's my little idea and tutorial. The locks that I had bought for the big bike with the smaller pin on it, they didn't work because the rotor part down here is thicker than the ones on these littler bikes, so it didn't fit over the rotor for the big bike, so that screwed me. So I'm just going to use the little one on the other two new little ones that I bought to put on the little 250 that I got. And so now I've got 3 locks all on one rotor, so they're going to have a heck of a time trying to cut three locks off one rotor. I know it's time consuming when you stop. You're thinking, well, I got to do all this just to, well, what would you rather do? You know, take your time to put some little locks on your bike, or would you rather lose your whole bike? And a lot of people's been losing their bikes. You know, especially people that live in apartment buildings and they put their vehicles in parking garages and things like that. I mean, they got all night long to sit there and cut your stuff up. So best thing you can do is at least put some kind of deterrent on there and try to slow them down. My opinion is try to get a place where they have a garage that's got security in it or something, because if you're gonna have a bike and you're living in an apartment building, you better have somebody watching your bike all night. I had a buddy that had just a scooter, and he had 2 big, thick, I mean, they were like double the size of this lock thing I got on mine, and they sit there outside all night, and it was just right outside his apartment building. But you can't stay up all night looking at your cables on your bikes. So dudes sit there with a saw all night, you know, and just sit there and saw it away. And he already had found one that was sawed partially. And I was like, that tells you right there, there are people sitting there working on your bike all night long. And what they did is they just came back the next night and did it again. And if you can get you a camera that'll last you all night long, what you need to do is put you a camera and aim it out the window. Maybe you can catch these thieves or have the cops catch them, and you know, and that'll end their reign of terror on stealing motorcycles, because somebody else's bike's going to get stolen if it ain't yours, and it'll be next and next and next. Sooner or later they do get caught, but hey, best thing to do is help out and get rid of them before they start taking other people's. Well, that's my little tutorial and thoughts about what to do about locking up your bike. I mean, you can put cables in between your wheels and everything too, attached to the frame, you know, just enough to keep them from being able to roll it off. Cable locks are okay. I mean, if it's just them not being able to roll it away, but if they're sitting out there all night and cutting away at it, your bike don't stand a chance. Alright, thanks for watching my videos.